The time is 11:07 on this beautiful Wednesday morning. And on the line with us today, we have Professor Mehreen Mia. Now, Professor is a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador in humanitarianism. She is also the co-founder and director of Helping Hands Social Society. Assalamu alaikum, Professor.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah for joining us today.
It is always an honor to be on Salam Media. Alhamdulillah, jazakallah for having me.
Alhamdulillah. Now, one of the things that you mostly focus on is empowering people and, assisting people in order to develop themselves. What are some of the guiding factors when it comes to self-development?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I think there are so many factors that you can think about, Sister Faiz. The thing is, the key factors are what exactly would it be that would motivate you to want to actually develop yourself? And the key things I think people should realize is it should not be the power of this world. It should not be status. It should not be money orientated. So it should not be fame. It should be just about you. So when you want to develop yourself, you need to understand that you are actually developing you. That's what self-development is about. It's about you. Most of the time, especially with women, we find that their reasons for developing themselves would be post themselves. It's not about them. It's about either a spouse or a child or etc., which is beneficial at some level. But at the end of the day, how is it benefiting the child if you are not benefiting yourself first? So I'm saying to somebody, for example, if I need to develop me, I'm developing me for me first. I'm finding the most authentic version of me. I'm becoming the truest form of me. You do not want to get into a state where the cause is so and so is because I am, or I am because so and so gave me. No, I developed me because of me, and others around me are going to benefit off that beneficial self development. So if I grow myself, I empower myself, I develop myself, others around me would obviously feel that beneficiary, and then obviously it just grows and so.
I think that is so important, especially when it comes, I mean, your intention when it comes to anything, and
Yeah.
I would think that anybody, your greatest champion should be you. If you're going to be fighting for yourself, I think that's where the hardest work comes in and the greatest reward comes in as well. So it is
Absolutely.
not easy to go through these processes, with so many challenges that come in a way. Um, what are some of the challenges that you've identified when it comes to people developing themselves?
Again, there are way too many, but the ones that come to mind offhand are the number one key factors is people don't like to face the challenge. If you are somebody who wants to do the self development, let's just say you're somebody who suddenly decides, I want to grow myself in a specific field or I want to better me. It's not an overnight something that's going to happen for you. And as soon as something goes wrong, people tend to feel, oh gosh, I'm defeated by this. So the first thing I realized, people don't like to acknowledge any difficulty. They don't like to acknowledge that it's okay to not be okay. They like the easy ride. And the thing we need to know, and I'm out, and if there's any coach or anybody out there in the world who's listening to us right now who can tell me they have a remedy to make it smooth sailing for somebody that's never going to find difficulty, please contact me because I'd love to know what your course is about. In every single field of trying to empower yourself or grow yourself or develop yourself, you are going to encounter a challenge. And the more honest you are about you, the more hectic and more difficult it is going to be. But the challenge is to actually get through that. So the one thing I find with many people is they don't like to acknowledge the difficulties. They don't like to want to face that honesty. They don't want to be realistic about what about them is wrong. They prefer the I blame so and so for my wrongs. No. Growing yourself is not about that. Growing yourself is true introspection about yourself. And when you know that I am a gift unto me because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me a gift unto me, I have choices that I can make for myself. That's the second gift He's given me. So now I'm taking the time, which is the third gift Allah has given me, and I'm going to become the best version of me for His pleasure first. These should be what your goals are. When these become your goals and you are trying to attain these goals for his pleasure first, then the challenges are easier to overcome. You're not going to be this people pleaser. I'm not doing this because I want so and so to be pleased with me. I'm not going for this woman's workshop this weekend simply because I need to be part of this little group or facet of women who want to know that Mehreen was at this place. No, I'm doing it for myself. I want to grow myself. So a lot of it is about mindset. A lot of it is about mindset. And our people, many people, tend to feel that I need to rather people please as opposed to do it for myself. I want to make sure somebody's recognizing me. But validity from outside of me is so crucial. I need people to validate me. I need to make sure I'm succumbing to the standards of other people's norms as opposed to what Allah has set down for me or myself. And these are just some of the challenges I found in people's self-development.
Mm. Those are actually quite profound because, you spoke about them actually acknowledging, which is the first thing, when it comes to any problem that you would have, any challenge, the first thing is to acknowledge that there is a problem or that it is a challenge to you. You spoke on making sure that you understand that there's a challenge there. But how else can you overcome some of these challenges?
Well, like I said, the first thing to do is to acknowledge it. The second is to understand why you're having it. So, for example, if there is a difficulty in a specific field, remember when you are trying to do self-development, if you are doing it with a mentor, for example, you would have a self-development plan that's done up for you. And if you're encountering some form of difficulty, then you must firstly acknowledge it and know that it's okay that I'm having this difficulty. It just means that I'm doing it right. And then you need to understand why you're having it. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I having this emotion? Why am I experiencing this difficulty at this specific moment or this time? And then try to understand what action is now required for me to actually delve into so that I can make myself feel better on the inside of me. The other thing that I want to tell people out there is remember, when you are doing anything, you have got to acknowledge yourself and give yourself credit. Don't wait for people to give you credit for being you. Celebrate your little small accomplishments, especially when you are in a self-development stage. If you are doing things for self-development and you are trying to grow yourself, only you truly know how difficult these little steps you're taking are. Because it's only you who's fighting those little wars, little battles inside you. So every time you actually accomplish something while you're doing the self-development plan, celebrate it with yourself, even if it is a means of a small little reward to you. It's for you. It's about you. Understand this. This is the key philosophy about the development of the self. It is about you, solely you, not anybody else. And then the one other thing I'd like to just make sure people understand is you need to create some time every day, whether it is after a specific salah, when is your quietest time after a salah, after your dhikr or whatever it is. Find a specific time frame in the day and try and analyze your day. Analyze you in that day. What was it about the day that you did that you think you might do better tomorrow? What is it about you that happened today was so fantastic that you give shukr for? And that's the next important factor is please give thanks to Allah. Always have gratitude. Give gratitude even
Professor?
if you're having difficulty. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. We're just going to take a quick ad break and we'll continue with that straight after. Stay tuned.
Sure.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
There's no smell that takes me back to the comfort of my childhood than the smell of black seed oil being applied by my nanny. Now I'm using Tib black seed in my own home to soothe sniffles and coughs, to help with digestion and immunity, and of course, as part of my beauty routine. After all these years, I've come to appreciate the wisdom in finding comfort and shifa in trusted treatments like Tib black seed. You can find Tib black seed at all leading pharmacies or find out more at blackseed.co.za.
South Africa, are you ready? Penny Appeal South Africa is proud to announce the For Good Tour with Saeed. Coming to your city in November 2022. Cape Town, 19th of November. Johannesburg, 20th of November. Durban, 26th of November. Get your tickets now while seats are available. Tickets via Quicket. Proceeds in aid of Children of the World Project. Contact 031 1100 573 or email info@pennyappeal.org.za. Penny Appeal, South Africa. Small change, big difference.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
The time is 11:19 and you're tuned into the Mid-Morning Talk with me, Fazila Isaac, on Salam Media. Don't forget to engage with us on our social media platforms. We were speaking to Professor Mehreen Mia on ways or a guide on how to develop oneself. Professor, you did touch on, learning how to overcome the challenges that we have. You were continuing with that?
Yes, alhamdulillah. What we were saying was, number one is to actually acknowledge that you are experiencing difficulty and know that it's okay to not be okay, because if you are experiencing any difficulties while you're trying to develop you as a self, then you know you're doing something right. So it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And what we were trying to say to everybody is, please, every day try and give yourself gratitude. Don't wait for others to validate you. Don't try and conform to the norms set from outside of you. Validate yourself. Be grateful unto Allah that you are who you are, even in the face of adversity. Whatever it may be, just know that there is still you. And as long as you have the breath that Allah has given you, then you are able to make decisions and choices that are needed to make the differences and changes that are required, because that is key. Remember, you're not able to actually develop you as a self unless you are aware of what needs to be developed, what needs to be changed about you. So key is awareness of you as a self. What about you needs to change? And when you know these things and you start to actually want to change it, sometimes it becomes the most difficult, because that is the truest and honest part about the changes you need to make. And the more difficult, the more painful. Remember, it's Allah's plan. He's only giving you what He alone knows you will be able to get through. So overcome your challenges by firstly knowing that they are there, acknowledge them, get through the why it's there, know that it's there because you can get through them, give yourself credit for getting as far as you've gotten, and then be honest and realistic about your way forward, understanding that it's a step-by-step, it's a journey. Your life is a journey. Self-development is a journey, and it's an ongoing process that never ends. It's not a point where Mehreen can give you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's your steps and that's it. No, your life, as long as you are going to be breathing and alive, you are going to be developing you. That is the goal. So once you get your bottom structures proper and your empowerment tools in place, you're able to then know how to deal with different things. Because remember, self-development is 5 phases. It's your mental, it's your social, it's your spiritual, it's your emotional, it's your physical. So you have to know and identify which portion that you are dealing with, and then balance it off with what works best for you, inshallah.
So how do you marry then all of these aspects, your professional, your personal, your social life? How do you bring all of this together, let it work in sync with each other in order for you to get the best out of your life?
Well, I think the key is for you to understand you, and know the importance of you. If you have to juggle between professionalism, your personal life, and social life, like you mentioned, three, um, all of them still come down to one point, which is me. I am who I am in each of those roles that I play. So if I'm me and I know that I am belonging not to the role that I'm playing, I belong to my creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has given me everything He's given me, for example, in terms of what I do. So the roles that I play are what are key. So I have to prioritize. As a daughter, for me, is key. As a mother to my daughter is key. I know that these are the roles that are priorities, regardless of whatever comes my way. So you have to be able to juggle it to know what works for you, what doesn't. Everybody is different, but you have to know what exactly is your intention. If your intention is all about I need to do what's best for me because I need to give off the best of me, then it will work for you. And Allah in His wisdom alone, because He knows you best. His wisdom alone is going to help you to marry each of these so that it becomes the best of your plan. Because remember, it's a plan for your journey. And I, for example, am a lifelong learner. I'm never going to stop learning everything. So whether it's a subject or whether it's life in itself, there's always going to be a lesson that's going to come your way. How you actually manage it in your portfolios, whatever it is, your structures, depends on you entirely. It depends on your intentions and depends on you as a resource. So you need to know what is it that is your priority in your lifespan, and then obviously work around that when it comes to developing you as a self.
The emphasis that you place on learning all of the time, that is so beautiful, and it's really
Okay.
something we should learn to live by. I mean, even Islam tells you, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. So there's never
Yes.
a time that you can think that you know too much. There's always an opportunity to learn more. And I suppose that is also something that is important when it's comes to you developing yourself as a person. So it's not easy without knowing exactly what it is that you need in order to develop yourself. So, what resources do you think are important to have to successfully work through this process?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, what better resource do we as Muslims and Muslimas have other than the Quran itself, which is the way of life, and of course the way of life in the Sunnah of our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Well, yes.
But yes, of course, in today's world, we do need other resources, and how to obviously encompass and put into clear exactly what is in the Quran and what is from Hadith and what is from the Sunnah. So the key is obviously the biggest resource, and I would say is you. You know you best. You know you from A to Z. I mean, you can sit in front of any coach or any psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever, and you can say whatever you may be. But at the end of the day, you know whether you're saying the truth about yourself or not. The key number one resource is yourself. Because remember, when you are actually working on self development, that's exactly what it is. You're working on it. It is work in the process. It's never going to be ending. So you have to know that your adversity is not an obstacle. Your adversity is an obstacle that you have to work on because your adversity is your opportunity. It is your opportunity for you to grow even more. I mean, if anyone who is listening to us right now is to sit back and think back to their entire lifespan thus far, I'm sure you'll be able to, resonate with some point in your life where you sat and you thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this? And you got through it. You're sitting here today. So you got through that, right? So the same applies to now. When it comes to self-development, your biggest resource is you, your inner strength, your inner being, and you developing you is what this whole thing is about. Because remember, and I keep saying this over and over, Allah has given you three gifts. He's given you the gift of life, He's given you the gift of your time, and He's given you the gift of choice. What you do with the choice of your time to develop you as a self, to be the best version of you, especially for His pleasure, is what is going to make you the most successful. So your biggest resource, I think, honestly, is you in yourself, within yourself, inshallah.
Yeah, I think that is so important because if it's something that's developing you as a person, it really is only you that you would need in order to make yourself better, in order for you to work through certain processes. What kind of support do you think that you'd need around you, if any?
Okay. You would obviously you'd need key support structures. If you are within a family structure, your family support would be key and crucial. The sad reality I have had is many women have come to me saying, I need the help and I want to be a better me, but I don't wish my spouse to find out. And I'm like, why? And they would be, no, 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 he's not going to be too happy. And this is no disrespect to any brother, but this is just an experience, which I'm relaying. But this is what happens. People feel that I need to develop myself, but very privately, so that nobody else needs to know. And that in itself becomes a challenge because it becomes very problematic. But your structural support system is very crucial and very key. And not because you're looking for validation from that support structure. It's merely the support in itself. So if you're within a family and you're wanting to grow yourself, it is absolutely awesome if your spouse and your children know that you are doing this. But mostly that they must know you're doing it for you, because you being the best version of you would automatically give the best of you off to them. So it does not mean you're going to become disrespectful, you're going to be losing out your roles, you're not going to be carrying out your duties as a Muslim, etc., etc. It means being the better mother, the better daughter, the better sister, the better spouse, etc. This is what it's all about. So you do need that, and it would be ideal if you had a mentor that gets you through this, because then you have a go-to space. And of course, if you are within a group of sisters that are trying to help each other to grow through specific things, like for example, if you are, if you have a group of widows that are going through similar issues, they would be able to talk to each other. If you have a group of single moms, they too will be able to help each other because they feel similar issues. So join these specific things and make sure that you are doing, of course, you're doing everything according to what is halal and good, but make sure that you do have these support structures. And we do have them in place to help each other, to help ourselves grow. We have no excuses to not. So find yourself the structures and the support structures, because it is key and crucial.
Jazakallah so much, Professor. This was really, really helpful. Inshallah, hopefully the listeners learn something from this, and aim to do that development for themselves, because you do owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself. So I just like to thank you for taking the time to speak to us today and to render us with your professional guidance on things like this. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Jazakallah so much for having me. It's an honor. And like I say to everybody and say to all of you, please make dua, inshallah. May Allah grant my father Marhum Farad me and all Marhum in Jannat al-Firdaus, and bless my mother and my daughter and myself and all of the Ummah, inshallah. And thank you again
Ameen,
for
Ya Rabbal
the
Alameen.
opportunity.
Assalamu alaikum. That was Professor Mehreen Mia, who gave us such important advice in order for us to be better people. Learn to develop yourself. Remember, you are the most important person to you. So take that advice. Remember Allah in every single thing that you do, and you're on your way to the top, inshallah. So we're going to take a quick short break, and when we come back, we're going to be speaking to Brother Shuaib Tusot Tabetsi, who's going to take us through his journey to accepting Islam. Stay tuned.